Hi, this is Cass from Aussie Cass Plays, and welcome to another Planet Zoo video. As you can see, the park has expanded quite a bit since my last video. It's fair to say I've been playing this in a fairly full-on kind of way. I think the park was just this bit last time. So we've had some changes. We have a giraffe enclosure over here. We have some giraffes. I think Gerald and Georgie are their names, as my son has had input into the naming. And I think they may have actually had a baby as well, which is cool. We've got a timber wolf enclosure with some timber wolves in here, including a little puppy. This is our second timber wolf puppy now. We had one called Emma. This one is Zavrina. Now, I have started naming my breeding pairs. I know I said in the last video that I wasn't going to name them all because it was all too hard, but I've started naming the breeding pairs because it makes it easier for me to figure out which ones are the ones I need to get rid of when we get overcrowded. We have a bear enclosure here. These are, I think they're Formosan brown bears. Is that how you say it? Formosan brown bears. So we have a few of those. This guy's on birth control because I didn't want him inbreeding. See, one of the things with this game is, as well as having to manage the habitats and the feeding and the staff, because you need to manage all your staff and you need to provide training and you need to manage their pay and you need to assign them work zones, as well as all of that, there's things like inbreeding to consider, and the animals will just breed with each other if they're in an enclosure together. So you have to look at who you want to be your breeding pairs and put, if you've got room for others, to put the rest of them on birth control. Anyway, it's super intense. This is definitely not a game for little kids, but that's okay. I am really enjoying the challenge and loving the kind of management. This is a cheetah enclosure. These guys are super cute. We have Remus and Hermione. They are my breeding pair. Oh, and elephants. I didn't mean to forget you, my beautiful elephants. Eleanor, Elijah, and Emily, I think, are my three elephants, my breeding elephants, because elephants need to be in lots of three. And the last couple of additions to the park have been some... Ooh, that's a caretaker, a keeper. We got some zebras and springboks in here, which are looking super gorgeous, super relaxed. And we got some African wild dogs, I think they're called, the ones that are over here. In this enclosure, we have a monorail, which I'm super proud of. I never played Planet Coaster, and the instructions that go with the monorail are super not helpful. I actually had to get onto a Planet Coaster tutorial to figure out how to set the thing up. Yeah, I added the monorail, and then I decided to add a different kind of a ride, which is this thing. This is like a boat ride. Where's the boat? It's around here somewhere. I don't know. Oh, it's over here. Like the monorail, I was able to just put it in over the top of the existing enclosures. You can't do that with the boat ride. So I had to actually lay the boat ride in new terrain and then put paths over the top of it, which means I'm now trying to fill in around it. I need to get... This is why I put these two enclosures here, and in fact I think this one as well. All three of these were in response to this thing. So that's, just a little bit of an update. Goodness knows how massive this is going to be when I'm done. Oh, and I also got what are these little dudes called? Chinese pangolins, super endangered. So if I can breed those, that would be amazing. They've got a 30% chance of breeding, I think, and Nile monitors are here. So I figured out, if you've watched me struggle with this, with the snakes last time in the last video, you'll know how much I struggled. There's a little checkbox here. You can select all and then uncheck your breeding pair. This is Angel and Buffy. Yes, they're frogs. It's fine. So what I actually wanted to do in this video, and this is the risk of having it unpaused, because there's always something with this game. It's really easy to stay up super late. I'm going to pause this because I will keep getting distracted. What I wanted to do today was a panda enclosure. Now, we've got our Chinese pangolins here, and I was thinking, given that these guys are Asian, and we do have, I'm trying to think what our other Asian critter is. Oh, the bears. They're all the way over here. But I'm thinking it'd be nice to keep the pandas next to the Asian, kind of these guys, and maybe have like a little Asian themed thing. Maybe one day I'll move the bears because the bears are not super happy where they are. I've discovered, this is a bit of a tip for you if you're getting into this game, where it says an animal is shy in its interactions with humans, they really don't like to be watched. I now have this double-sided glass, so my critters that are shy are generally a lot happier, except my poor bears, I've put them in this enclosure, and I thought having this thing go over the top would mean that they'd not realise they were being watched. I thought they would be less anxious about it. No, that is not the case, especially when they get into this corner and they climb this tree. They always have a little freak out. So I kind of need to rethink this enclosure, whether I go for like the double-sided glass and remove this path. I don't know. And I don't know if the monorail going over the top of them is helping either. This donations box is where everybody gives me money, so I kind of don't want to. Yeah, anyway, I mean, we're loaded. We've got like $260,000, so I don't really need to. Like, I'm at the point now where I'm starting adding, decorations for fun. So, yeah, which I'm really liking. I'm liking that I get to zhuzh my little, like, I've got a little Egyptian garden thing here. So, yeah, anyway. Stop getting distracted, Cassandra. All right, so I'm thinking I need to do a path out this way. I can't go... I could probably go under, but I don't know how. I feel like I'm not competent enough at the terrain tool to do that. Maybe I could put it in here, and then we could have a path on the inside so the people on the boat can see the pandas. Pandas are also shy, so I don't want anything going over the top. I have learned not to do that. So I have two little pandas that I've already purchased. They're currently called Hop and Tian Shi. I will probably rename them because, in fact, I'll probably let my son rename them. He is the one that insisted that I needed to get pandas. I've also bought a chimp and a red panda, but I need to get more of those. So I'll just leave them in storage until I can afford more and until I get the opportunity for more, because these guys are all very hard to buy. The elephants took forever as well. It's just, if they're a bit rarer, they're harder to get hold of, I guess. I mean, it makes sense. So let's see what we can do. We're going to lay some path. My path default width here is 5 meters. I don't know if that's a mistake. I don't know if I should have done much wider in this central area, but it's a bit late now. I feel like I'm stuck with it. I could probably have it go under the monorail because I don't think the monorail kind of doesn't really interfere. So first things first, I'm going to lay a grid. And I do want to put some enclosures on the inside, but I'm not sure if it's going to be the panda. Yeah, see, I've done all of this too close. It's a bit fiddly. I don't like it. It's a bit off center, but that's all right. I'm just conscious that I want the people on the boat to see stuff that's interesting. And I feel like at the moment they're looking at a vast empty plain, which is a bit annoying. I will like soften all the edges of this up by adding plants and stuff later. This is how I make it look halfway decent later. Oh my gosh, it's crooked. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. There's a delete path option here where you can go in and be like, nope, try again. Let's call it artistic. It's meant to look like that. It's fine. So I could put the pandas in here. They need about, let's see, so it says 900 meters square for one. Obviously it's a bit more for two. This enclosure, which is my elephant enclosure, I just need to rename that. I can't have them not be correct. So this is 4,000. So 900's really only, very, very small. Probably that. But I feel mean and I've got all this vast open space, so why should I make my pandas suffer? So I'm going to get some barriers. Obviously it's going to be one-way glass for my precious little beans. We're gonna maybe go like that. What if I do three long? So that's 60 meters. This is obviously all very expensive, but like I said, I'm doing quite well. Since I got the giraffes in, basically, it seems to have made a big difference because everybody likes the giraffes. And then I could afford the elephants, at which point it was all gravy, and people keep telling me to increase my prices. And I'm like, I feel like it's quite expensive now, but you know, okie dokie. I should actually confirm. Grade 4 climb proof. Oh, this isn't going to work. Okay, what I was just talking about. It says here what kind of fence. These fences are actually only grade 2, which means they'll smash through them. This is grade 4 but climbable. This is grade 6 and not climbable. So I could do a concrete barrier, but what I might have to do is we're gonna maybe use some terrain manipulation. I think that might be the way to do it. So I'm gonna pop this here as my dividing fence. And because it doesn't matter if I have a big honking concrete fence between this enclosure and the next one. The problem is I don't want to have a thing going over the top. I don't want my poor pandas feeling like they're being ogled. They're not going to be okay with it. They're going to be very upset. So, terrain. This is an experiment. It may not work, but I'm going to... Because if you make the edge... Of course, how am I going to get my keeper in? He can come in this way. Put the gate there. Because you can use terrain as an obstacle in this game. I've got the same thing in the hippo enclosure, where the edges all around the water are actually just... That blue line is actually indicating there's a non-existent barrier, so it's just open air, but it's how the game knows what the sort of circumference of your enclosure is. So I don't know how deep I need to go. I feel like this is super deep. What if I just even this all out, just to start with, and then I'll put a fence. I don't know when I'm supposed to use these airlocks. Track airlock. I don't know what that is. And there are guest gates. But again, I'm like, I don't know. Oh, lowered the terrain here as well. That's annoying. I'll just fix that. I'm going to put in a gate here. No. Haha! There we go. Just a little length of it, because what I'm going to do, this is all a bit new to me, because this is kind of terrain manipulation. It's a bit fancier than what I've done before. I'm going to smooth this. So my keeper needs to be able to get down into the enclosure. And then I'm going to just paint these edges like rock, because I feel like that looks more realistic, you know. Hopefully my pandas won't mind. I reckon that doesn't look very climbable. I guess we're going to find out. So then I will get null, which is the fence you have when you're not having a fence. And be like, nobody fall in, you guys. We're taking a lot of... Like, I don't think you'd ever get this in a real zoo. Even if they had enclosures that you could walk right up like this, they'd still have some kind of barrier, I reckon. Just because all it takes is some idiot who has a couple beers before they come to the zoo, and suddenly you've got someone falling into the hippo enclosure. I don't think falling into a panda enclosure would be particularly dangerous. But I feel like if you fell into a hippo enclosure... Ugh, let's just put a concrete fence in. That's fine, I'll fix it later. Yeah, I feel like the point where you fall into a hippo enclosure, you can probably kiss your posterior goodbye, because hippos, like zebras, surprisingly violent. You know, everyone expects that the lion will eat them, but the hippos and the zebras, that's where you're really going to get killed. I think hippos, like, I remember hearing that, I don't know if it's true, but I remember hearing that hippos are actually one of the most dangerous mammals in terms of, like, obviously mosquitoes kill more people than anything else because of, like, malaria and other disgusting diseases, but hippos, you don't see a hippo coming in terms of, like, being a murder machine, and yet they are. Alright, let's see. So this is 2,000. 2,000. We only needed 900, so that's good. Alright, so the next thing I need to do is get my little dudes, and we're going to move them to the quarantine. I could have done that earlier, but honestly I didn't think of it. There we go. Here they come. Pandas in a box. Can they walk down the hill? I'm worried the humans aren't going to be able to get down the hill. Yay! Hey, little guy. Hey, it's okay. You're okay. It's fine. You're fine. I'll sort you out. Alright, so we need less grass. Terrain. Short grass. Okay, less long grass. We can do that. We also need some soil. So there's probably no water and electricity up here either. Yeah, I'm out of range of everything. That's great. That's alright. I was planning to put some kind of service stuff along here anyway. So if I put those in there, and then I'll add a path just to connect it all up. Because I don't think the mechanics can actually get to these things to service them if there's no path. Because reasons, I guess? I don't know. Okay, habitat. Oh, hang on, I was still sorting out the terrain, wasn't I? What I'm thinking is we'll put in an actual pool of water that they can have a drink. There we go. Beautiful. That's why you need the water purifier, because otherwise that gets manky. So I need to put in some hard shelter because they're happy with the grass. They've got loads of space. We need heaps more plants. Enrichment. We've got our 2 adults. I'd like my hard shelter to kind of look cool, like, I don't know. We've got the ones that I put in the pangolins thing, these kind of ones. I might see if I can modify something like that and go from there. I will get back to you. Alright, so what I've done is in the habitats, I've put in an East Asian shelter but modified it a bit. I wanted to try and make it so people can actually see in. I don't know if I need to take these panels out as well, maybe. So I'm gonna switch to giant panda. So we filter by species. Like, you guys saw me do this in the last video. So we don't really need. Do these guys need climbing? I don't think they do. So I'm going to put that there. I like to put in 2 different food locations because it kind of gets them moving up and down the length of the enclosure, which is important. Heaters and coolers. Now, what kind of temperature do you guys like? They like 2 to 29 degrees. Now, it does get quite warm here. Like, it's currently 20 degrees with a chance of snow. But what I can do in the habitats, they have heaters and coolers. So I can pop in little coolers along the length of the enclosure and then set them to a certain temperature, and then they shouldn't get super overheated. So I could be like, I want it to be constantly 14 degrees. So it keeps it a bit cooler. Now this heat map is the temperature heat map. You can see I've got heaters in a lot of enclosures. That's where my timber wolves are. So they like it quite a bit colder because they like the snow. And that's how I keep the snow. Alright. So that should be a nice comfortable temperature for them. And then they would like loads of plants and enrichments. So we need to... I don't know what I've got for them in the way. Oh, hang on, I should put in some bedding. They're so little. I'll give them slightly bigger beds than I think they need. And I'll optimistically put in a third one. For the baby, I'm hoping we'll have a baby. I have one food enrichment item, which gives a ton of enrichment. I'll also put one over there. The advantage of placing them around the edges is it kind of... The goal is to like get them to go near the fences so that guests can see them. We'll put a rubber pillar over here. I'm impressed with how many enrichment items I have, given that I haven't actually researched these guys at all. Alright, and then plants, we have temperate Asian. So we go nature and biome, temperate, continent Asia. And then we got to put in a whole bunch of coverage for them. If I put everything right, the big trees right on the edge like I normally do, all it's going to do is block people's views. But I could put them along this fence. I tend to put my big trees along the fences where there won't be guests. Alright, hang on. This is being annoying. Alright, there we go. And we'll put a little one down here because it doesn't matter. And then I'll put a little one over here maybe. The plants are really small compared to the size of the enclosures. I mean, it doesn't help that I do massive enclosures. Alright, you guys, so it took quite a lot of bracken and stuff around the edges, but I'm really happy with how this actually looks. So hopefully our little pandas will as well. I also added a couple of little panda statues that I found in the construction area, which I thought was super cute. I think it's also about to start raining, so that's lovely. So how are they feeling? So we've gotten 85% nutrition. Now, the next thing I have to do is get all of the peripheral stuff sorted, which is like the keeper station, assign some vets to look after them. I need to put in like lights along this road and garbage bins and donation boxes and information signs, and there's a lot of other stuff I need to do. But I'm gonna actually end this here because I feel like I have been talking at you for like 1,000 years. And the guests think my tickets are underpriced again, which is great. So I will put the price up just on the kids' ticket this time. So, you know, look, we got a little panda and he's sitting on his bottom. And I'm sure, according to every YouTube video ever, if he sneezes, he'll fall over. And that will be cute. Anyway, I'm going to end this video here. If you've enjoyed, let me know if there are any particular animals that you would like to see me kind of do like habitat renos for, or if there's particular aspects of the game you'd like to learn more about, then let me know and I'll see what I can do. I'm really loving this game, you guys. It is so much fun. I love the graphics, I love the look of it all, I love how my little pandas are sitting here sort of licking themselves. It's so good. Anyway, I will catch you guys next time. Thanks for watching.